asking if there's a good
Sit here,
step
come here.
in the future of mentality, because no kid wants like
Sit here.
hot heat. No kid wants to work anymore.
True. I agree with you.
Which makes me very frustrated. Like, why would you want a job if you're not going to work?
Yep. Well, you tell that to another generation.
So what's up with your generation?
Oh, my generation, we're Gen Z. And the next generation...
What's your generation?
Gen Z.
Oh boy.
And then Gen Alpha is next.
What's Gen Z mean?
Gen Z means like it's alphabetic order for generation to generation.
How come we didn't have a Gen Z?
You guys could be
Fred,
Gen
how come
X
we
or
didn't
Gen...
have what happened to our generation? What we called?
I was a baby boomer.
Baby boomer?
Yeah.
What came after baby boomer?
I don't have no idea.
That was like the Vietnam area. Like,
I don't know.
that's when I was
The
born.
baby boom?
I was born in '67.
You
So
were
I was the flower
I think
child.
you were still, no, you
I
were
think-
still a baby boomer.
No, I was a flower child, because '67 was the flower power.
When you was born?
1967.
Oh, you were born in, I thought you said 57.
That's when they had the Summer of Love. 67.
Mhm.
I popped out. And then 2
68.
weeks after that,
Was it 68?
67.
Oh, it was 68.
67. Because then and I popped out. The Beatles, just after 2 weeks after I popped out, they had the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah.
And when I was conceived, they had the Magical Mystery Tour.
Okay.
So it makes me a psychedelic baby.
I think the Summer of Love was, remember?
69?
Summer of '69.
No, I think no, it was
They
67.
even made a song about it, Summer of '69.
Yeah, but the Flower Children generation, the Flower Power, 1967.
Well, the flower power was 66, 67, 60.
Yeah,
When did Kent State happen? They blew a couple of them away.
it's 1970.
Okay, that's when it ended.
That's when
It
that
started back in 66 and it ended after they killed them.
Yeah,
So,
probably.
you know.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah,
They lowered the population.
that was a sad event in Ohio history.
Yeah, so we're live, guys.
I was at Kent State.
They were at Kent State
Yeah.
The day before the shooting.
the day before the shooting.
Ohio.
Holy shit! So what was happening the day before the they actually they were
They was,
protesting?
they was having,
I
you know,
lived,
protests down there.
Just
Friendly
about 12
protests.
miles from
The federal
Kent
government's the
State
ones that come in with
campus.
burning the buildings.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I've been
the kids.
It wasn't
Cincinnati.
the federal government.
Federal government. yeah.
Cincinnati,
Yeah.
Columbus.
And then,
I
when
was
the
in
shooting
Cincinnati
happened,
when they won the World Series.
somebody fired
no.
a round.
I was
It was
playing
fair.
soccer.
They weren't supposed to have bullets
as
in their
a,
guns.
you know, an all-star.
'Cause they just came off a mining
It's the
strike.
Pepsi La Rosa
The guy, my
tournament.
worker was on strike. These
Does
guys
that
just
name
came
sound
off.
familiar?
Yeah.
Pepsi
And when
La
they
Rosa.
La Rosa.
thought somebody
Yeah.
yelled, they're shooting at us.
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
that was the
And that's when they
tournament.
opened up
That
one,
was-
one suit.
Pete
Wow.
Rose's
So
team.
they killed, I think they killed 4 of them. 4
Yeah.
dead, no,
Yeah,
no,
4 kids. Yeah, 4 kids died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was crazy.
And
time in
I was
history.
taking a test, law enforcement test at Cuyahoga Community College. I came down, got a cup of coffee, put money in the jukebox, and then Bernie Silk, the president of the college, come down and said, "Fred, turn it off." I said, "What?" He said, "Just killed 4 kids at Kent State. We're closed down."
Wow.
It was bad times. And
James, you want to start with some?
Well, oh yeah. So this is just a random conversation. We thought we'd get the event on video because for the very first time I'm meeting Raymond Keller, famous ufologist. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure to meet you.
You
too.
came all the way from West Virginia to my town here in Northern Ontario, right? And this is Fred, your friend, Fred Saluga.
that's right, sir.
Fred Saluga. So Raymond Keller is a famous ufologist. I call him the legend of ufology because he's the oldest and most documented UFO historian, right? Started printing printed material on the UFO subject matter in 1967,
That's right.
the year I was born, and that was the UFO magazine.
Yes. Called the Flying Saucer Report.
Wow, and that was at Cleveland?
That was out of Bedford, Ohio, a suburb of Cleveland on the southeast side.
Okay, that's cool. And how long were you doing the magazine for?
Oh, I was doing that until 1972 when I went into the Navy.
Okay, so you're a Navy man.
Yes.
How many years in the Navy you spent?
4 in the Navy, and then following that, was a civilian for a while in Utah, working for the telephone company.
Whereabouts in Utah?
Mountain Bell, in Orem, Utah.
Is that near the Four Corners area or near Skinwalker?
No, it's in the upper part of the state, south of Salt Lake City.
Okay. So that's Mormon country.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you been in Salt Lake City?
Oh yeah, I've been in Salt Lake City, but I didn't stay there too long. My first son was being born, and then I went into the Army.
Okay.
And I just went back into the military and the Army because the Navy wouldn't give me the same time and grade, which was very important.
So tell me something. You mentioned your son. How many kids you got?
I have 3 sons and I have 12 grandchildren.
Wow. Okay. So what's your son's names?
Raymond, Sam, and Chris.
Raymond, Sam, and Chris. This is the first time. I never knew you had kids.
Oh yeah.
This is fantastic. Okay. So are they still alive and kicking?
Oh yes. They're in their. They're almost turning 50 now.
Wow. So a little bit. That's my age group, pretty much. Yeah.
So
That's
you
cool.
You
Yeah.
could be my son, I guess.
Yeah. Or I could be friends with your sons one day. You never know.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So I'm 58 right now, or 57.
Yeah.
So you never know down the road.
Good.
And we might meet your kids one day.
Yeah.
Right. Are they into ufology too, or no?
Well, they're all interested in it. One of my sons, Cristobal, or Chris, he's a very famous artist. He invented an art form called Tobalism, where he started doing custom skateboards in California, and then he did milk cartons, and he turned the milk cartons into superheroes and began selling them, and going to art shows in Paris and Hawaii, and
Oh wow.
he lives in presently. He's married to a girl in Thailand,
Okay. Where do they live, in Thailand? or-
and they live in Thailand. Yeah.
Holy crow! Wow, that's wild.
Good for him.
So he's like me. I've lived and worked in 46 different countries
Wow.
so far.
Wow. We live and work in 46 countries. Wow. How about you, Charlie?
Yeah.
Where do you live and work?
I live in Canada, and I'm in the Toronto area.
Okay. This is Charlie Kundallini, by the way. This guy here is my longtime partner in Fantastic Time. Okay, I was going to say crime, but no, I'd say Fantastic Time. And I met Charlie, I guess, in 2010.
Yeah.
That was when you had, you took over the Astronomy Meetup Club.
Yeah.
And you changed it to what?
Alien UFOs in outer and inner space.
Okay, did you hear that, everyone? Aliens?
The UFOs in outer and inner space, which became the largest UFO group in all of North America. And, we...
On what? On meetup.com?
On meetup.com.
On meetup.com.
Yeah.
Okay, on meetup.com. Remember
Yeah.
meetup.com, everybody? In 2010? So, I was a member, so I was in Euphoria on meetup.com, and then later we changed it after I met Charlie, we changed it to Euphoria Chronicles, where we still kept the meetup group as Euphoria. Euphoria was a hardcore meetup group for serious people involved in UFO abductions and experiences and UFO sightings and stuff like that. It was a group where UFO experiencers could come together and talk, right? Ozzy, that's my dog Ozzy. And, come here, Ozzy. Hey, come here, monkey. And then I was in his group, the Astronomy Club, before he changed it to Aliens, to learn more about the stars, because I've seen sightings in the sky, but when I looked at the stars, I want to know where Orion's belt is, and well, I knew the Big Dipper, but I want to know other star constellations. So that's why I joined it. And then when you changed it, I said, oh, bonus, another UFO group. I said, okay, I might as well stay in this one too. And then we conversed and became friends. And we were doing stuff, since 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, interviewing people, doing interviews, doing sky watches, doing meetings, trying to bring the UFO subject matter into the light, right? We tried our best. In the end, it was very costly for us, especially me, and I couldn't afford paying for all the stuff and stuff like that. And then it also became a hassle in the end. It was like a drag. I had to take time away from my family to do all this UFO stuff, and I don't think I was fully, respectfully respected, and that's why I kind of got out of it. And yeah, I'm kind of keeping to my own lately, and I still am in the UFO subject matter, but I'm lower key, and I have great friends, like Fred, who I just met. You see this guy's hat? It says MUFON Mutual UFO Network. And you know, guys, I have an admission. I used to know Tom Theophanis, we both did.
Yeah.
And he was a MUFON guy. He was a MUFON field director for Ontario. I think 1978 to 1982. And he had a kind of a problem. He wouldn't really describe the problem he had with MUFON. I think they wanted his material, and he didn't want to give it up. I think that was the problem. But Tom was there, and I don't know too much about MUFON. I heard a lot of, I'll be honest, guys, in my years in ufology, I heard a lot of bad things about MUFON. I'm not saying they're bad. So far I met Fred, and he's a fucking awesome guy. A really cool guy, right? Like, he's cool, right? And he's really cool. And I say, okay, this guy I could relate to, right? So you changed my view on MUFON
Well, thank you.
by in your presence of you being here.
Thank you.
And you drink Coors
Banquet.
I remember when I used to go to the States, this is one of the only beers I used to drink other than Genesee Cream Ale. So you could drink Coors. I'm
Breakfast
drinking.
of Champions.
I'm drinking the Moosehead, a Nova Scotia great beer, and cheers.
Yeah.
Right.
So the issue that with the MUFON, especially here in Canada, was they were they wanted to be active. They wanted to join our group. I didn't pay much attention to them. I didn't give them much force really. But the issue with them was they were talking to our contactees, and in the beginning they were happy to fish the information. But on the second or third meetings, they were being abusive with the contactees.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Oh, no.
They were discrediting them. When they were retrieving the information, they were happy. But then when they got the information and they figured they couldn't get anything else, then they started to how do you call it? Destroy the character of the contactee.
Character
And say-
assassination.
and say bad things about them and put them down, and
That's
so
bad.
they started attacking the contactees and the UFO sightings, and then we were like, you know what, you guys are out.
I think the tables are starting to turn on,
Yes.
on that kind of thinking, because just 1 month before the big congressional hearing revelations disclosure on UFOs that took place on 25th of June of 2021, this poll said that now 80% of Americans believe that UFOs exist. They no longer question the existence of UFOs. 50% have actually seen unidentified flying objects. And get this, 15% have experienced contact with extraterrestrials or ultradimensionals at one level or another, either psychically or physically or through telepathic communication. So now it's not so unreasonable, considering that 15% of America, with a population of 300 million, would be 45 million Americans have had contact would be technically considered contactees. So this is very, very significant, a long way from when NICAP and Donald E. Kehoe and the early pioneers of MUFON were being dismissive of this kind of thing. And I think they're really turning around because Fred and I and many others are often invited to speak at MUFON events.
Yes. At this last conference we had at the Cryptic conference in Toronto, there was a guy from MUFON there, from our area in Toronto, Ontario, and he was actually a kind and nice, genuine guy. And I think that MUFON had to change their ways. Their philosophies had to change. And if they wouldn't change, they wouldn't be getting the material that they wanted.
Well, about 7 years ago, they started a special unit, ERT team, Experienced Researchers Team. Okay, you got to have so many cases done to get on that. You had to go through these interviews from a couple of people in MUFON, and you can't get in it. And I think right now, a lot of the people in it, how can I say this? Okay, being an ex-cop, you got to look at people, and a lot of times you got to feel sorry for them. People want to talk. People see things. Maybe they weren't abducted, but you got to listen to them all the way through, and you got to talk to them.
Yeah.
And I think right now, our ERT team is pretty good. Like I just done an investigation the other day. A lady back in, I guess it was 57. She was a kid, 13
Tell her I
years
said
old,
hi.
and she had missing time. She had a newspaper route Sunday morning, delivered newspapers 4:30 in the morning. She seen a light in the sky. It started coming towards her. It was a red light. It burned her face. And next thing she knows, she's standing up on her bike. It was an hour later. Well, whatever she says she's seen. I'm not going to tell her she didn't, because that's her. And I think this is one of the problems with everything. Somebody says they've seen something, and you say you didn't. All right? They know what they've seen.
Exactly.
And this is what we got to work with. And, I talked to her for over an hour. And she never seen, she said she was in a UFO, but she got missing time. And this is what you got to look at. And I think it's with all UFO cases. You have to look at the case, look at the person. And I mean, I wasn't there. It's like, again, we got another case where we got a guy, or I know a guy, he killed his girlfriend, and then he did some shit to his wife. Now he's investigating Bigfoot and UFOs.
You're the killer.
Well, again, he says to me, Fred, you being an ex-cop, you working in a prison with people on death row, why do you treat me the way you do? He said, I don't hear you say shit bad about me. And I told him, it's like this, man. The only people that know what really went on, you, the victim, and God. I wasn't there. I can't say you did this, because I know a guy in prison was in jail for 25 years, an old black guy, sat on an electric chair 2 times for killing his 7 kids. 2 days before he was supposed to die again, his next door neighbor confessed that she done it. So I don't really judge anybody.
Wow, so this guy, 25 years on death row, they gave him the chair once.
Twice.
And so the first time he lived?
Well, no, you get a reprieve. They
What do you
put him
mean?
in a chair twice.
Okay, so they put him in a chair to electrocute him?
Yeah,
Twice?
twice. Yeah, 2 times.
Okay, so the first time he didn't die, of course.
No, he didn't die the second time either.
They didn't
Really?
turn it on.
No, they didn't turn it on. It
Well,
was
they didn't turn it
It
on.
was like 2 minutes before they pulled the switch,
Okay.
and they gave him a reprieve.
Oh, okay.
So he was supposed to die again in March Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, he had a massive heart attack. And I ran security at the hospital. And I said, hey man, just let the guy die. I mean, really, why do you got to put him in the electric chair? Oh no, he got to die in an electric chair. So they spent probably $500,000 on him to heal him, so they could just put him in an electric chair. Which to me, that's ridiculous.
And that is still, yeah.
But again, God was looking out for him because it proved
He was innocent.
he was innocent. So, you know.
Wow.
But I think, like you say right now, I think you got a totally different set of people to move on. And I know, being the state director in West Virginia, assistant state director in Pennsylvania, assistant state director in Delaware, if somebody bitches about somebody, I'm on their ass. And I don't really talk bad to too many people. I mean, you know, you give me, if I got a reason to talk bad to you, I'll talk bad to you. If I don't, I'm going to treat you with respect, because I respect everybody. So.
Xavier, what generation are you?
Oh, me, I'm Gen Z.
Okay, what do you think of UFOs? What do you think of aliens? What do you think of the planets? What does a guy your age and your generation?
Well, I am 17, and what my beliefs are is many things are planned the way that they should be, and you wonder, why is that? And then aliens for perspective. Like, there's billions and billions of stars. How have we not found life yet? There must be something hidden, undercover. They're trying to hide information that the new generation doesn't need to know about. And another thing, monks, right? They've only proven reincarnation has exists because they've meditated for so long that they've starved themselves to death, and their reincarnation animal has found that location again. So that could be another possibility fact as well. There's so many facts out there, there's so many past historical things that the Bible has changed over and over again to lose information of the past, to block all the bad things that we've done. Like, the Good News Bible, I've read it, and it talks not of good things, it talks of our misdeeds that we've done as people that killed 30,000 people just for resources like oil, mineral, just resources that a human being thinks it's so important to die over.
Now, you went to military cadets or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you said to me now, military killed something like 30,000 people for what reason?
Resources, oil, minerals, anything that has riches to it.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a question. This is a big question too. So, I'm just stating an opinion. If you're in the military, I thank you guys too, okay? Because, you guys fighting for us, and, sometimes we need people to fight for us because we need people to protect us, because there's some weaklings out there that can't protect themselves, and they're just homeowners and stuff like that, and they're not really a war type, and, they need protection, right? You need to protect the farmer because the farmer's growing food, right? And if he doesn't have food, if he doesn't grow food, then we don't have food, right? So it's like a job, so that soldier out there, he's risking his life too, right? He can be shot in the head. He could be shot in the balls, for fuck's sake. Excuse my language. Right? A helicopter, you don't think you got shot in the balls? When you get in a Vietnam helicopter, they used to say, put the helmet under your ass. And they go, why? He said, so they don't blow out your balls. And they put the helmet under their ass right away, right? Because they don't want their balls shot, right? But I'm not trying to be funny there, but it's true. It's true. So without these people in the military, you need somebody to fight to protect you guys. Every country should have their own military, is my belief. As they say in America, the land of the free, the Second Amendment right is the right to bear arms or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. So I'm a Canadian, and I agree with that statement. And I'm not saying I have weapons or anything like that, but I think everybody should have a weapon to defend themselves. Okay? Just like when my dad bought a house in Florida, you know, being a winter bird, snowbird, going to Florida for the winter time, he bought a house. And he didn't really know the rules of Florida. So a week after he bought the house, you know, sheriff knocks on my door. I answer it. He goes, "Is your daddy home?" I go, Yeah, he's home." I go, "Pops, I got the sheriff here." That's what's a reverse of terms, because usually when the sheriff knocked on the door, usually he was coming for me. It's something I did or whatever.
This time he
This time he was coming after my dad, right? So I thought, oh yeah, okay, right, to Pops. And then the sheriff goes to me, "Oh, you're the homeowner?" He goes, Yeah, I'm a homeowner. He goes, "Okay, we're here to check for firearms." And my dad goes, "Well, I don't have any firearms." And the sheriff goes, "Well, you know, in that county in Florida, right, I think it was Pasco County? Pasco County. Yeah, Pasco.
Yes.
Yeah. So that county there, he didn't have a firearm. So the sheriff goes, "No," he goes, you have it's the right to bear arms. It's in the Second Amendment in Florida and in this county. We respect that, and if you're a homeowner, you have to produce a firearm for protection, excuse me." And then my dad goes, "Okay, I'm fine with that. That's cool. That's actually cool."
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Okay, where can I buy a firearm quick?" Right? Because it was a Thursday, and he was going to come back next week. So he goes, "Actually, if you go this weekend to this big flea market, I think, I forgot where it was. It was a big-ass flea market. You could buy lots of handguns."
Yeah.
And then he bought one of these 22 handguns. It's what Leonard Skinner calls a 22 special, or Saturday night special. Small, lightweight, 22 handgun you could put in your pocket. Right? You could give it to your girlfriend. She can, you know, put it in her purse and stuff like that. Really cool. But I love America, man, for that reason. But you need soldiers. But the same token, sometimes you fight a war, right? And it's for a wrong reason. But when you're fighting the war, you don't realize it's for a wrong reason until after you get out of the fight. Years later after the fight. And then you realize you were killing people not for the reasons the army told you or the military told you, but for nefarious reasons. And you find out stuff that happened as a result of the war that were atrocities being done for the simple fact, like in Nam, okay? In Nam, they were bringing in heroin in the body bags of the dead, all right? You know, that's kind of...
In the bodies, not the body bags.
In the bodies.
Yeah.
They're sewing the heroin in the bodies.
Yeah.
Wow, that's even more disrespectful. Right, so stuff like that.
Then in the 80s,
They were doing that. And if you were in America at the same time they were doing this, let's say you're walking on the street in Boston, and you had some heroin, in those times you would get busted, and because it's heroin, you'll probably go to jail for 10 years. How do you like that one, guys and girls?
Then in the 80s, they was bringing in a cocaine, Air America, and then recently they've been bringing in a heroin from Afghanistan. So they just quit because there was no more heroin grown in Afghanistan, and we're not there no more. So
no more heroin, no more war there.
And also, when 9/11 happened, a whole war happened to go back to Vietnam and fight them back. But all they practically did was, they went to go fight back, but the government, what they did was sign a peace contract with the head ponchos, the head kings, I believe it was the king over there, and they signed for oil resources and everything. So technically, back to Jimmy's conversation of just going to the war, because the men only knew they were fighting for their country as revenge. But then as soon as they were done, it was more for the resources.
And they're protecting poppy fields, protecting
protecting
oil reserves. You know what freaks me out about war is the amount of deaths from friendly fire. I couldn't believe it. There were more Americans killed Americans in Iraq than Iraqi soldiers killed Americans.
Well, let's face it. You know that movie, Casualties of War, with Sean Penn?
Okay.
When I watched the movie for the first time,
Ugh.
I kind of I had a couple beers, smoked a joint, watched the movie. And I bought it because Sean Penn, I used to like Sean Penn back in the day. Hey, he made some cool movies. And so I watched his Casualties of War. And I kind of said, well, if you're in a squadron or a detachment, and you got a buddy that's like hassling you all the time, right? You're calling you names or whatever, yeah. And he's belittling you, maybe, I don't know, right? And then you're out in the field there, and you got a gun there, and he's a fucking asshole, and then you get in some friendly fire with the other shooting at you, and he happened to be there, you just go fucking boom, right? Just fucking boom, right? Oh, fuck, he's dead, right? Fucking move on, right?
Mhm.
I heard that happened a lot. Is that true? Now, you guys are both
I
military.
don't know. I can't say.
You don't know, yeah.
Well, I know in Iraq.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. I could see it happening.
Yeah,
Okay,
Iraq.
I could
yeah,
see it happening.
a
Right?
lot. Most of the deaths were friendly fire.
Yeah, but don't forget too, though, when you're going out in a place like Nam, okay, and I only know Nam because I know so much about it. There's been so much stuff written about it. Right, you're in the jungles there, okay, and I'm relying on you guys. Okay, because if I get shot in the leg, you guys can or cannot, you may or you may not, try to pull me out and help me out,
Right.
if you're in heavy blood fire, it might be impossible to pull me out. It's like I got shot and fucking, you're getting shot too, you gotta duck for bullets and shit and get, covered. But there's a chance you might be able to save me and help me even though I'm shot. Call for help, call for a chopper to get me on the medic thing. Right?
Yeah, it's the code of the military not to leave anybody behind.
Yes.
Right.
To do everything at all possible
To help that fellow
help the
soldier.
wounded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
help that fellow soldier.
Help
Right.
the weak so the weak could maybe strive and teach the new generation to be stronger than the old.
Right.
While we're at this topic of war, I want to, with you, Raymond, and with all of us, your opinion on the first nuclear bomb that that was shot in Nagasaki and in
Hiroshima.
That was an atomic
Hiroshima.
bomb. That was an atomic bomb.
bomb, yeah. When that atomic bomb got dropped, all of a sudden UFO experiences and a lot of alien activity just skyrocketed. Where do you think that came from? Nuclear explosions, UFOs, and aliens. Raymond.
Well, the extraterrestrials, we are their children, of course, and they've been watching us since the beginning of recorded history. But with the detonation of atomic bombs at the end of the 1940s, and then later in 1953 with nuclear bombs and above-ground testing, this especially caused alarm with our brothers and sisters of other planets, especially here in our own solar system. So the presence of the flying saucers in our skies was augmented, and they especially appeared over military bases around the world, but most notably in the United States and the Soviet Union in those early years. Because now, with the dawn of the atomic age, it was also the beginning of the space age, with intercontinental ballistic missiles that could be converted into rockets. So now we had not only did we have the weapons, but we have delivery systems that could take them to the moon and beyond to other planets. So this is a very big concern. One of the first things that they did to help us here on Earth was they dispatched the UFOs and the scout ships and so forth to these areas where the testing was taking place, and there are many reports from the late 40s and the early 50s about the UFOs coming over the bases and releasing these green fireballs. These were radiation neutralizers. And if they hadn't done that, perhaps even today we'd be a much more
Worse condition.
mutated species.
Yeah.
And this was very, very important. And then they worked behind the scenes, sending emissaries even to the leaders of the Soviet Union and the United States. And there's plenty of documentation that this happened. I was with Laura Eisenhower, the granddaughter of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, twice at Mount Shasta, once at Glastonbury, England, and another time in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And she confirmed that the case of Valiant Thor is very real. And of course, in my first book, Venus Rising, I explain all the details of that and the significance of Valiant Thor's visit. But you see, as time has progressed, many nations have been working toward peace. We've had nuclear non-proliferation treaties, the demilitarization of outer space, and all these are really good trends. But I fear now that we're in very perilous times because the doomsday clock at the University of Chicago has been moved up to now it's like 4 minutes to midnight. So we have the Russians threatening again to use nuclear weapons, albeit tactical
1 minute.
ones, and or 1 minute.
1 minute.
So it's very destabilized now, and so you can expect to see more and more flying saucers in our skies as these times continue.
What do you guys now? You guys are both 2X, you know, well, two older military men, right?
Mm.
And the reason why I say not X is, you know, we're coming to some freaky times in this world. I call it we're the Twilight Zone, guys. It's like, you know, 2015 or, no, it's 2025. It's 2025. See, I'm in the Twilight Zone. I'm already 10 years behind. But, you know, 2025, and we got all these things happening in the world. And, you know, yellow is blue, and blue is red, and green is yellow, and I don't know what the hell other colors are going on here. But, man, when I walk down the street sometimes, I'm like, wow, what happened? What happened? Because I remember walking down the streets in 1970, and times were pretty good. Even 1980, times were pretty good. And then I walk down the streets today, and it's like, where the hell am I? Am I on Earth, or is it just another planet? It's like a Twilight Zone. I know, that's all I'm going to say. But, you know, you guys being ex-military men, and then there's like today, you guys are talking about Israel bombing Lebanon. And, you know, I was born in 67, and I think it's 67, Israel was having a war in 67. Look it up. I think it's pretty positive that's true. And for my entire 57-year life, Israel's had problems with other countries, and other countries in the world have problems with other countries, and there's been wars going on throughout. And then we were talking about the whole history of Earth. The Egyptians were fighting, the Greeks were fighting, the Romans were fighting, the Muslims were fighting the Christians and the Jews. Countless wars. Portugal and Spain had a 400-year war, right? England was fighting France, right?
England was fighting us.
Yes, England was fighting America. America, you know, it's just one war after another. It's like depopulation. It's constant depopulation. Seriously. And then you have other things happening in the world like viruses and vaccines that cause harm, right? And you have all kinds of crazy shit, right? You got airborne stuff in the air, like barium, right? A friend sent me a sticker. Well, it's not a sticker. It's an actual military patch. It's a military patch. I took a picture of it. I lost the patch, but I took a picture of it. I got the picture somewhere. It says It's got a picture of an airplane, and it's spraying a chemtrail, and a sign says barium. Barium. Okay? Think about it. Barium.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the element barium, but the word also says bury them.
Barium, yeah.
Bury them, right? Like smother them in the smoke. Right?
It's a spell.
Bury it. It's a spell, yes.
It's like Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Military housing, Obama.
Yeah, and they do that. No, military patches, they do that.
Yeah.
They're slogans, right?
Yeah.
Slogans and stuff.
The name.
Right? Even that song you were singing, Fred, the first time.
Deed of Destruction.
Well, yeah, and that one with the Yogi Bear one.
Oh, Boo Boo got a gun.
Oh, fuck, that was hilarious. But first time I hear the song, right? Two military guys, they're singing, but especially you were singing, especially. Boo Boo got a gun. If you never heard that, play it. It's hilarious. But it's like a marching song, you know? Boo Boo this, Boo Boo that, Boo Boo shot him, right?
I heard it.
And I'm like, fucking hilarious. Excuse my language. Like, but hilarious, but good. Like, I mean, I can get that, right? And you think about it, Boo Boo was the smaller bear, right? And Yogi was the bigger bear. And maybe the bully was picking on Boo Boo, and Boo Boo said,
He
fuck.
stole his honey.
He stole his honey.
Yeah.
He stole his honey. There you go. Okay.
And then the small Boo Boo bear shot the big bear first, and then the sheriff saw that the little bear shot the big bear in the head. So then the sheriff was on the run, and
That
the
was
little
the-
bear
It
chased
was
him.
the park director.
And then, well, Boo Boo shot the sheriff in the head. So that's how the story ends.
That was hilarious. So I like but first time I heard that song was this weekend. Right? I guess it doesn't get that much airplay in Canada.
No.
Right?
But in the past, there's been records of nuclear explosions on the Earth.
Mm.
You know, Egypt? You see all the powder there, all the desert? There was a war there. There's a massive war there. Nuclear explosion. This was during the time of the war against, Yahweh and Marduk.
But I
And
think
they nuked that whole area.
I
They
think
nuked it.
I think the whole thing. How many times has the Earth been destroyed?
Oh, so many times.
Yeah, I mean we don't really know.
The Hopis say we're in the fourth world now.
No.
The fourth time the world has been reconstructed and repopulated. And there have been many civilizations that have come and gone that we only just barely have traces of. The Quilla in South America, Mu in Lemuria in the Pacific Ocean,
That's right, Mu.
the lost continent of Atlantis, and so forth. And so we don't know just how far back it goes, but I know that the first extraterrestrials arrived in our solar system some 25 million years ago from a planet called Norca, which was orbiting around a star called Tau Ceti. And the sun,
Ceti, I heard of, yeah.
Tau
yeah,
Ceti.
it began to expand into an orange, into a large orange orb. It was a sun much like ours is, but it caused the planet Norca, which was very close to that star, to turn into a desert. And they built spaceships and space arcs to take them to new homes in a safer world.
Is that how we got the dolphin life and whale life and stuff?
Oh yeah, well with the here in Canada,
It's Norca, right? Sounds like a dolphin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Norca. Well,
Yeah.
the former defense minister Paul Hellyer had said that there's at least, he knows for a fact that there were at least 80 species of extraterrestrials here on the Earth, and some of them come from water worlds, like Numo in the Sirius star sector, Sirius C, and it's a world much about the size and gravity of Mars, but it's populated by aquatic people and a lot of sea life and everything. But they visited our Earth 5,000 years ago, in the area of the Red Cliffs region of Mali in West Africa. And they visited a people there called the Dogon.
Okay.
They call them the fish people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kind of evidence that this is real because they gave the Dogon elders, they gave them knowledge about everything about Sirius that was recorded by French astronomers who visited them back in the 19th century. And only now in our century, with radio telescopes, the Kepler probe, and everything else, are we learning that everything the Numu told the Dogon people is true about the
Wow.
Sirius. The length of Sirius B's orbit around Sirius A and so forth. All this stuff is verified. The super Earths and types of planets that are there. It's all very real.
Well,
Yeah.
also, I went to Collège Boréal for like an ad for African culture, right? And there's an old legend of there used to be only one tree, and humans started on the tree and slowly developed. And that's how, like, an African, and it was like African French. So, and I've watched also another movie when the Earth caught complete fire, and aliens came down and adopt the smart kids to bring into another planet to start from fresh on a tree.
Oh yes, many legends, and usually where there's where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a truth to all these stories, and part of the job of exobiologists and astroarchaeologists like Eric von Daniken and so forth is to go back and uncover these. Zechariah Stitchin.
Yeah.
This is very important stuff to prove our origins. We are not of this world. We have a kinship with the star people.
Have you read books about James Churchward?
Oh yes, the Lost Continent of Mu.
Wow, you're one of the.
Very important.
Yeah, Helen Blavatsky
Okay.
and Aleister Crowley stole his material, and then they buried him. They buried his material.
Oh,
Did you know that?
the books are very rare, and
They're very rare books.
and if you have some of the originals,
Thanks, Xavier.
yeah, thank you, Xavier. You have a blessed evening.
Yeah.
So that this is all very important.
Have you read all his books?
Yes, I have.
I've read all his books. What a
So
great guy.
We're
What's it
on the
this week?
same
Do me a favor.
frequency.
Yes.
Put that in the freezer.
Yes. He's one of my favorite authors. I actually, I learned a lot about how the world works from his books. Now his books are they're in the classified as fiction, but when you really look at it, it's early science.
Thank you, Xavier.
Right?
Yeah.
Have a good
You know,
night, okay?
remember the gas belts theory?
Yes.
That makes perfect sense because Lake Wanapitei. You know Lake Wanapitei.
Yeah.
It's a gas belt. So this lake here, that's right here, they can't find the bottom of it. The reason why they can't find the bottom of it is because it was an extinct volcano there. So this gas belt runs there. So the Earth has gas belts. And what gas belts are? They're pipes where gas runs, made out of rock, and on these gas pipes, there's volcanoes that go right up. And if the pressure is so much in the gas belts,
The bubbles, yeah.
if the pressure is so much, it'll relieve itself from the volcanoes. But if the volcanoes, let's say there were no volcanoes, or the volcanoes were plugged up, those gas belts, if they explode,
Big geyser.
no, the land just drops.
Yeah.
That's how Mu got destroyed,
Oh yes.
and
Well,
Atlantis too.
James took me out to Lake Wanapitei the other day,
Yeah.
and was explaining about these discharges of gases and the bubbling coming up from the center of the lake, and how Jacques Cousteau even came out to that remote lake
Yeah,
And
he changed his mind.
and he couldn't get.
No, he didn't change it. He went down.
but he
Yeah.
couldn't make it all
He
the
went
way
down and he hit bubbles.
Yeah,
The
And then he
pressure.
couldn't maneuver the submarine.
properly.
The
Methane
properly.
bubbles. Was
Yeah.
it methane bubbles?
Yeah,
It
and
was
it
so
became
great.
dangerous. So he got up.
Yeah.
And they hired him to find out how deep the lake was. And nobody knows because even Jacques Cousteau came back up. And he says, it's too dangerous. I can't go because there was lots of bubbles.
Yeah.
And they were messing up the equipment and messing up, well, he couldn't see anything because of all the bubbles, right? You're like looking through a window and there's bubbles everywhere, right?
And it was churning up a lot of muck and everything.
Yeah.
It's an extinct volcano pipe. That thing there goes, that could go forever. Around, well, not forever, but you know, when the planets are formed, it starts off as a gas, and then a rock forms, and then a rock forms, and then layers of rocks, and then within that planet, the gas pipes. That gas still runs even till today.
It's venting through lava tubes and everything.
Yeah. And it has, I know it has 4 states: plasma, gas, lava, and then rock. So when it's really hot, it's a plasma, and then it goes to a gas, and then it goes to a lava, and then it goes to rock.
Right.
There's 4 states, I know. But usually on the tributary where it runs, a lot of it is plasma. And then when it goes up into a tube, it turns into a gas. And then when it goes into the other tube, it turns into lava. And then it pumps right out, right? And the funny thing is when the Canary Islands burst, a day later, Etna burst.
Oh yeah.
Because it's the same pipeline. So those pipelines that he described, he calls them the Great Pacific
Gentlemen.
Gas Melt.
I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
You want to sleep?
Yeah, I didn't have my nap today like you guys.
And then it
Oh,
goes
okay,
off.
okay, that's true,
Yeah.
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 All right, well, have a good night,
Take it easy.
brother.
I'll see you come up.
Okay, Fred. We'll see you.
Will you take it easy?
Okay.
See you soon.
Huh?
See you soon.
I hope you do. I gotta ride over with you. All right. Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right,
no,
brother.
he's got some great science. And then Mu, that's where the Easter Islands are.
Yes.
And Hawaii was part.
Polynesia, Tonga,
Yeah.
Samoa,
Yeah.
Tahiti.
Yeah. And then did you follow The Children of Mu? That book?
On the Children of Mu.
Yeah. Yeah, The Children of Mu was, I was reading The Children of Mu. I found out, you know what Italians are?
What?
Italians are Aryan Indians.
Aryan Indians.
So we're Aryans from the north.
Okay.
We're, there was a nuclear explosion there in the Bible,
Yes.
Sodom and Gomorrah. You know in Sodom and Gomorrah?
Oh yeah. There's still evidence like the sand turned to glass.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
don't they have Vesuvius there? Mount Vesuvius?
That's in Italy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
But-
Yeah, it's Sicily, right?
Oh,
Vesuvius?
Etna.
Or Etna.
Etna's in-
Etna.
Yeah.
And then what's Vesuvius is in Italy too. That's the one that.
I think that's the one
Pompeii,
in Rome.
Pompeii.
Yeah, Pompeii, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
People
Yeah.
were just like became like statues with all the ash that fell down on hot ash.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happened too with ash? I learned this when Mount St. Helens. Okay, so I was living in Toronto in 1980. I was 13 years old. So I wasn't able to drive, but I was playing hockey, right? So, anyway, when Mount St. Helens erupted in Toronto, I don't know how far Washington State is to Toronto, but I think it's over 1,500 miles easy, maybe 2,000 miles. And on the third day, when after it erupted, in Toronto, there was a dust. There was a dust that formed. See, ghost there, what?
No, I see some lights out there and out by that tree line, or maybe it's just a reflection.
You never know. Okay, I'm just checking. But there was a dust film on the windshield in
Wow.
Toronto. And then I did my own research down the road. So what happens is when you're breathing in dust from a volcano, it's like a fine cement. So when you breathe it in, and you're breathing in the lungs have water in the lungs. So the more dust you breathe in, your lungs turn to cement. And after about a minute max, every breath you take in a volcanic dust storm, right? You're breathing in every breath becomes shorter than the last one.
Because of the cement, it's.
And within a minute, you expire. You're like dead.
You can't live. Yeah.
You can't. You just die.
Wow.
Because your lungs don't move.
That's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sodom and Gomorrah, God was upset. So Sodom and Gomorrah was Enki's town. That was his city. And in that city, Enki was a horny god. Horny. Loved women, loved sex. He was all about that, right? So in this town, there was lots of action. His brother Yahweh was like, man, this is a bad town. I don't like it.
Oh.
He sent a nuclear explosion to destroy it.
Wow.
Right.
All to do with sex.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is actually in north of Iran. That area there. So Sodom and Gomorrah was in that area there. And then,
Wasn't Sodom and Gomorrah because there were like buggery going on, or and
Well-
there's lots of anal sex with same sex and stuff like that, or
well, not so much of that. It was just that his brother was jealous of the city, and he wanted to destroy it.
wow,
Like,
so
like
jealous.
Babylon?
Jealous gods, yeah, Babylon.
Remember Babylon?
Yeah.
And Lil destroyed that. That was Marduk and Enki's. They built it. Right?
Babylon's Baghdad today.
Yeah. That's why they went into Iraq. They wanted the Anunnaki technology.
The artifacts.
The
Artifacts in the museum.
Yeah, they wanted real Anunnaki.
Occult
Yeah.
tools and
Stargates,
stuff.
everything, right? Because that was one of their major
I
cities.
heard too in that museum. This is how we get suppressed knowledge, right? So, Baghdad, the University of Iraq or Baghdad or whatever it was called, they have things on display, like every museum does. But like every museum does too, they also have a back room where the things are not on display, but they have it just the same. So in that museum, they had a lot of artifacts, occult artifacts, like with, I guess similar to like witchcraft and magic and stuff like that weren't on display, but people knew of it.
High technology.
From them that day, yeah. And if you look at it, a lot of the technology that I have a passion for archaeology, but I won't really tell no one, right? But I read up on it and stuff like that. And like the Baghdad battery, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one evidence. They had a battery. I was trying to make one, right? I have it still in a box, right? A Baghdad battery. But I haven't finished it because I've moved so many times. A lot of times I put things in a box and it still stayed in the box. But a Baghdad battery, in essence, it works with a bit of urine, believe it or not, in a vase with a copper pipe. And I don't know how you light it, but apparently it lights up like a light bulb. And they say that's what they used in the pyramids, the Baghdad battery, right? And they have pictures of it in the pyramids, right? So all this old technology that was suppressed. Like here's one for you guys too. In old film footages prior to 1920 says a lot of things of suppressed energy and suppressed inventions. Did you know prior to 1920 we had in Chicago, first off Chicago, they had I think Tesla built it for Chicago.
Oh, Wardorf. The tower.
No, it was when they had the World's Fair in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was on a movable sidewalk. So the whole fair, you got on like an escalator, that didn't go up. It was like, going flat on a flat surface.
Mm-hmm.
That moved you around, and then if you wanted to see that booth, you got off and you walked towards it. And then instead of walking a mile down to the next, thing, because you go to exhibitions are big, a lot of walking. And then you hop on the thing, the movable sidewalk, and it moves you to wherever you go. I mean, you might not find that thing interesting, so you stay where you are, but you keep on going. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you know what? Oh, they're selling hot dogs. Okay, I'm going to get a hot dog. I'm going to get off here and get a hot dog. Right? That's how that was like
Movable sidewalks.
18-something? 18-something.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, back then. And then I seen another video, old footage. They had a scooter. But these scooters, people were like, driving them around.
Mm-hmm.
The amazing thing about the scooter, it was like a hovercraft. It was floating on the air. It had no wheels. That was like prior to 1920s. Right? Amazing technology.
I found an old drawing from a newspaper back in the 1920s of two women sitting at a table, and they had these handheld telephones with no wires at all, just the receiver and the speaker, and they were talking to people from far away.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a kind of like a cell phone thing.
In
But
fact,
it was in the 1920s.
In fact, here's one for you. Speaking of that topic, if you watch documentaries of Aleister Crowley, okay, so Aleister Crowley, famous guy in history, they have a couple. I watched several.
I seen it. Him with the cell phone.
Yeah,
walking by.
yeah. So
He looks like a tranny, right?
he looks like a tranny. He's dressed in a dress, which they said he did before. Like he used to go out in public dressed like a woman, right? That's what he
But
did.
really, it was a warlock suit. It was a witch suit. A
Huh.
witch uniform.
But he had the device. He was like talking on a cell phone, on what looks to be like a cell phone of today. Back in like 1920s or
Yeah.
whatever it was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable technology.
Yeah. They Crowley and Blavatsky, they stole Churchward stuff, and then they tried to eliminate them, cancel culture them.
You believe in time travel, Raymond?
Yes, I believe in it.
There you go.
Well, certainly.
I do too. Yeah. I do too. I'll tell you guys, well, I'll be honest, I was talking to you earlier today about Jules Verne.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, were you there when we met that guy?
I saw the video. I saw, your talk. I saw him, and everything pans out like this guy here spit an image of Captain Nemo.
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne. And his wife, too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm just saying now, I'm not going to go any further. Let things rest. But I'm just saying, I believe in time travel. Right? Yeah. And it's funny too. Dreams. I have a lot of dreams. Are pretty cool dreams, right? And dreams can teach.
Oh yeah.
Right? They can teach. Right? They can show you things and everything else.
They can teach. They can inspire. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
remember that one.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Also too, the thing about dreams is if you dream it, you're experienced it in physicality. You could do it. You've done it in your dreams, and now you could do it in real life. It's like an experience of a real lifetime experience, even though it was a dream, right?
Yes.
And yeah.
So, when you have a dream and it inspires you and you want to make it a reality, what you have to do is to ask yourself each day when you wake up, what have I done so far to make this happen? And before you know it, if you do that and you take steps every day to make something happen, the universe will find a way to manifest it for you. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, remember we were talking about nuclear bombs? What I found out was, that even though there's, wherever you see a desert in the world, that's a sign of a nuclear bomb. Wherever you see a desert. In India, there's a desert there, and they have talks of the nuclear war in India. Of course, the Sahara Desert. You know the big hole in the Sahara Desert? There's a big hole there.
Yeah.
You know about the big hole?
The depression.
Yeah. A major bomb must have dropped there. I guess during the wars between the two brothers.
I can tell you about a little bit about India, because in the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas and so forth, it talks about great battles in the heavens that were fought with these huge flying platforms called vimanas.
Yeah.
And that great devastation was racked upon all the earth in these wars, even with wars against people coming here from other planets. And that accounts for those areas in India that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But ancient Sanskrit writings and so forth, they do document these things. That's why it's more than a myth. It's not mythology. It's all for real.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Viyama?
I've seen pictures of them, from different texts and artists' interpretations of them, going back to like the 3rd or 4th century BC.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
So it's real. It's very real. And it's interesting because the Hindus have a concept about time and our reality. They say everything is Maya, which is their word for illusion.
Maya.
We really do live in a matrix. So when we start to study these metaphysical subjects, when we start to study about life on other planets and so forth, and open our mind to these possibilities, then we're breaking through the limitations of the matrix that we live in.
Now I got a question for you on that note. So let's go a little closer to our time, but still a few hundred years ago. There was a civilization on that, I think it's in Peru. Machu Picchu, I think it's called.
Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu. Where there's this big high mountain, like plateau mountain, and they said the king used to go, of the Indian tribe there, and that was like his summer home or winter home, one or the other, and he used to take all his people he liked, and he used to have a 3-4 month retreat up there. And when the Spanish conquistadors came, they were doing everything, like lots of stuff, the Spanish conquistadors, to the Indians, which is an unfortunate thing that they did in history. But they said when they got to Machu Picchu, nobody was there. So it's like, the Indians knew they were there, but when the Spanish got up there, it looks like there's evidence people were there recently, but no one was there.
This also happened in Central America with many of the Mayan cities.
Yes.
When the Spanish came in there, then word had already spread that they were coming, these strange people.
Yeah.
And the cities were.
And they never found them.
The cities were vacated.
Vacated somehow. What do you think? Do you think they were vacated on their own, or do you think they had help from our friends in the sky?
Well, it may have been a little bit of both. May have been a little bit of both, because just like today, there are many among us who are contacted and many who are not. But those who are contacted are I believe that they're chosen because they're open to the message and open to doing something to help humanity and spread that message. So sometimes they'll come down, like at Mount Shasta, for example, and they'll take people who've worked with them and helped them, and when they're done with their mission, rather than suffering a physical death here on Earth, they'll put them through a process of translation, or as some say, ascension, to
Nice.
go live on other planets,
Right on.
and where they can go and continue the same kind of work on other worlds,
Right on.
and help them through their perilous times.
Right on. Yeah. Well, I'm a good farmer, I think. I hope, anyway. I could work on farming. Just throwing it out there.
Well, in my book on the second one, Final Countdown: Rockets to Venus.
I have that book.
Oh yeah, I talk about how people from all walks of life, they have skills that are needed on Venus and other planets,
Yeah.
and they've been taken there for 7 or 8 months to help with a project or transplant certain
Yeah. I
kind of.
heard about a Russian. You wrote about a Russian
Yeah.
that was taken to Venus
As a farmer.
as a
and
farmer.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. I read about that.
I remember
That's
that.
right.
I read that one too.
Yeah.
to plant the same kind of crops he was doing
That's right.
that were resistant to the cold and everything in Russia, that were doing well, and to help the Venusians and other extraterrestrials to grow these same kind of things. And but this happens with many people with skills from all walks of
life.
life.
And
not
it's
just,
funny what you say about this topic, because you said Russia, the Venusians, right, and the colder weather, I guess, right. So up here, where I'm dealing with too, it's exactly those
Cold weather,
conditions.
yeah.
Exactly those conditions. It's a colder, so we have a very late frost. You know, they say in Canada, May 24th in the south, in southern Ontario, you can plant safely. Up here, no. Because May 24th, we're still getting frost in the morning. So it's kind of hard. And then I read that if you plant cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, peas, beans, they'll survive the cold.
Aren't there also certain strains of like a hard red wheat or something that grow well up here in the north?
Beets grow good. They
And
take that
beets,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. All these things take frost, early frost. So they even say up here, you can plant peas as soon as the ground is workable. And same thing with broccolis and cabbage. You could actually put the seeds in, right? As soon as the ground is workable. So that, let's say you have a couple days of warm weather, and you can go maybe an inch or two with your finger in the ground. You could actually put the seeds in then. It might snow a few days after, but still it's okay. And garlic's another one. Garlic, the Mennonites taught me up here. They said, I bought garlic because it's supposed to be healthy for you. Eat garlic once in a while.
Yeah.
And I said, when do you plant the garlic? They said, you plant it during the Thanksgiving time, around Thanksgiving. You put it in the ground, and that's it.
Wait, next year?
No, maybe you put some hay on it, or some straw, just to, whatever. Sometimes you don't even have to do that. It snows on the whole winter, and in the spring, those bulbs of garlic, well, you're okay. That's good for them. And they start growing really fast. Garlic would be the first crop to start shooting up. But you plant it before.
Mhm.
You plant it in October, November-ish, and leave it in the ground all winter. And in the spring, you'll see them shooting up, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, right?
It is. It really is. Well, there's a lot of interchange that goes on between different planets, agriculturally, scientifically, culturally, religiously, or spiritually, I should say, rather than religiously.
Yeah.
But this is beneficial to all planets, and even we could learn something here on Earth in sharing information and sharing knowledge and interchanging people, exchanges, cultural exchanges, and so forth. Sister cities, all these things are great ideas for advancing peace here on Earth, and also diversity of plants and the biosphere, and making this a better, happier place to live.
I agree, 100%.
Do you have any theories on the Hollow Earth and like beings living in cities like Agartha and
Well,
Shambhala?
Oh yes,
And
well,
then Mount Shasta supposedly
Yes.
is an underground base.
well,
But-
taking Mount Shasta, there is an ancient city from the Lemurian Empire from long ago. It was a colony called Telos that was built underneath Mount Shasta, and there
Telos, that's right.
are many lava tubes and caves and so forth,
Yeah.
crisscrossing between Mount Shasta and Mount Lassen.
Yeah, so those tubes, those are dried up or extinct
Yes.
gas
right.
gas
Yeah,
lines.
Played out gas lines.
Yeah, that the earth.
And lava tubes.
Yeah, go ahead.
And